Hey, it's Tim Corey. I have a bunch of changes coming to the IAmTimCorey YouTube channel, as well as IAmTimCorey.com, so I wanted to share them here with you so you weren't surprised by them. Now, if you're a mailing list member, you will have already heard about some of these or most of these, but we're going to go into more detail. Now, I've got a whole list of things to cover, so I will refer to my notes often as we go. The first thing is that the C# application from start to finish course. That has a main course and then it has two add-on courses, one for WPF, one for ASP.NET MVC. I sell those all individually as well as a complete bundle that has everything all in one. That has lent some confusion to people. Which one do I buy? If I want just WPF, do I get just the add-on course? But where's the main content? Where's the creating the logic and the database and the data access and all the rest? And that's caused some confusion. So as of Monday, May 18th, I'm going to start selling just the one course. That's everything all in one. I will reduce the price somewhat to hopefully make it a little easier to buy, but really that's going to be over 40 hours of training on how to build a complete application. So that's going to be a big deal. Okay. Now, if you have not yet purchased the whole course, but maybe you purchased one part or two parts and you want the rest, now's a good time to buy it. Not just because it's going away soon, but also because now through the end of May 17th, that course and all the add-ons as well as the complete bundle, they're all on sale for half off. Okay. Also half off is the SQLite application from start to finish course and the TIMCO Retail Manager Phase 1 course. So if you want any of those courses, now's a great time to get it while they're half off. Okay? Also, the All Access Pass is open now through, again, the end of May 17th. That date's kind of important. There's a lot of changes happening as of the next day. So the All Access Pass is open until then. The All Access Pass is a subscription, so you don't get to keep the courses when you're done, but as long as you keep paying monthly, then you keep getting access to not just a few courses, but all the courses that you want on IAmTimCorey.com. Now, it does raise an interesting question that I often get, which is, what about that Udemy course? And we'll cover a bit more about that, but know that Udemy course is not currently included in that bundle. I am working through some different ideas to get it onto IAmTimCorey so I can give it to you with the All Access Pass, but for right now, that's not one of the things included in the All Access Pass. The All Access Pass is for publicly available courses on IAmTimCorey.com. Okay? And again, we'll cover that Udemy course a little bit more in just a bit, but that All Access Pass is closing soon. It probably won't open up again until later on in the summer. So if you're interested, now's the time to get that. Okay? Next up, the weekly challenges. The weekly challenges is a course that's designed to push you, to get you out of your comfort zone a little bit. And it hasn't been as popular as I was hoping it would be. Not that I'm looking for popularity, but I am looking to encourage you to grow and encourage you to continue pushing forward as a developer, not just focus in on the one little thing that you're looking for. So it hasn't quite worked out the way I'd hoped for. I have been doing this for over a year and a half now, and it's just not quite where I want it to be. And so as of, again, May 18th, the weekly challenges will be going away. So you didn't see a weekly challenge this week, and there won't be another new one coming up. I've also closed down the ability to get the subscription for that. Okay, so that subscription will be closing down soon. I'm going to try and honor those subscriptions and make sure that you get your money's worth if you are a subscriber with that. But what I'm going to do is take those videos all offline, and then I'm going to kind of retool them and reshape them into some basically training courses for interview prep. So when you go to an interview, you kind of already had some experience going through some of these challenges you may see in an interview. So with that, it's going to take me a bit to do that, but in the meantime, I'm going to take those courses down. Now, some of you have really asked, they said, Tim, we really want access to this. We don't want to lose access to content you've already created. And so what I did was I figured out, I said, okay, if you were to buy a year of the weekly challenge, which is currently $15 per month, now that's before VAT. So if you're in Europe or another country that applies VAT, it's actually a little bit more because of your the value add tax, I believe it's called, usually between 15 to 25%, somewhere around there, addition. But in the US, it's $15 per month. So that equals out to $180 over the course of a year. So I said, what if we did 10 months instead? And so if you want to buy for a lifetime ownership, if you want to buy the weekly challenges as they are right now, then you can do that for $150. That's a lot, but at the same time, again, if you were going to spend even 10 months of a subscription doing those, then you can get access to, I believe it's 69 challenges, and there's 40 plus hours of content there with a challenge and a solution. So there's a lot of stuff there, and it covers a wide range of topics. If you're interested in that, and you don't want it to go away, if you want to make sure that you get access to it for a lifetime, then that purchase is available again through the Sunday, May 17th. After that, you can't buy that course again. It's not going to come back, temporarily, things like that. I'm going to take it apart. I'm going to break it into pieces, change some things up, rework some things, and then that content will come out in other courses, but it won't come out as just one big bundle to buy. So this is kind of your one shot. If you really want to get access to those things, then now through Sunday is all you've got. Okay? So make sure you go check those out. Now, that leaves my schedule open on Thursdays. Normally Thursdays were the challenge, where I'd give you the challenge and then you went ahead and did it, hopefully. Now, of course, those numbers kept dropping. And so I want to bring something in instead that, first of all, will be more popular, not because, again, I want popularity, but because I want to help more of you. And sometimes I have to do things that bring you in and encourage you to watch that video in order to help. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to start a series. I'm not sure if it's going to be a forever series or just for a period of time. I think what will happen, at least at first, is I'll do one every Thursday, and then I may bring other series in on Thursdays as well, and kind of intermix between one topic or the other. But the series coming up right now is going to be called Dev Questions, and it's going to be a shorter video, but it's focused on answering one question of the week. So, for example, my Udemy course answers one question more thoroughly, of course, than I would do in a video on YouTube, but it answers the question, which ASP.NET course should I choose, or which project type should I choose? So we might tackle that in a question where we wouldn't, of course, go into the full depth the course does, but we'll at least talk through some major questions around that question. So which project type is right? Which one should I avoid? Why is one more popular than another? Is this one ready for production or not? So all those kind of questions surrounding the topic of which one should I choose? Okay, so that's the kind of questions we'll answer. And we're going to try and go over, what is Xamarin? That'll be one of the questions. So we'll get into what is Xamarin, why it's important, why you should use it, why you shouldn't. What is a worker service? Okay, so we'll talk about that. How can you deploy it? Where does it go? How does it work? And these aren't going to be the let me show you code. They'll be the let me give you some information so you know if you want to go watch that video in more depth. Okay, so if I have a topic on it, like worker service. So if I talk to you about worker service and tell you what it is, and you say, man, I've been missing that. That's what I need. Then you can take that and say, okay, Tim's got a video on that. That's about an hour long, I believe. I can go watch that and see how worker service works with the code. So hopefully that will answer some questions that you have, questions that you've emailed me a lot about. We're going to cover for sure. If you have questions, either leave them in the comments down below. Or, well, it's probably the best idea. Email is a little tough right now. I am answering about 45 emails a day, and that's getting a little much. I'm trying very hard to keep on top of that, but we are bringing in some other resources to help that. Not our people yet, but we're going to bring in hopefully a forum system. I believe it's scheduled for July. It's kind of a special announcement. Not one that is official yet, but that's what our hope is to bring it in July to get a forum up and running to help kind of take that load off of you asking me directly. You can ask the forum, and hopefully I'll probably answer a lot of the questions, but sometimes the community can as well. So in any event, email is probably not the best way because I'm kind of falling behind on trying to get answers to people. Right now my inbox has, I think, around 100 email to yet answer. I'm going to try to do some tonight, but it takes time for me to get back to you. So first of all, know if I haven't sent an email back to you yet, that's why. It's just a matter of me taking the time to do that. But if you have a question that you want answered in this dev question series, the best place to put it is in the YouTube comment, because it's all in one spot. It's easy for me to respond to quickly, and also at the same time, easy for me to come back to and say, okay, I want to tackle that question. Okay. It also allows other people to kind of give a thumbs up on that and kind of vote as well to say, yeah, I want to hear more about that. So the more popular question is, the more likely it is that I will answer it. Okay. So again, these Thursday videos will probably stay around 5 to 7 minutes. They'll be shorter, and it's just informational. Okay. So that's what's coming in to replace the weekly challenge on Thursdays, at least for now. I'd love to hear your feedback on that. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on other series I could do beyond just tutorials on Mondays. Okay, so that's what's coming out for the weekly challenge and for the replacement. If you want those weekly challenges, make sure you go over to IAmTimCorey.com and get those before the end of Sunday, the 17th. Okay, again, links be in the description down below so that you can go directly to each of these things. Udemy. So I did an experiment for the first time ever. I created a course that wasn't just going to be on IAmTimCorey.com. In fact, it's not on IAmTimCorey.com at all. Instead, it's on Udemy. This is one that people had asked me for. They had said, please put a course in Udemy. And part of the reason why is because it reaches a broader audience than my courses do currently. Part of it is because it is a much cheaper platform. So when you put a course on there, you're going to get it for a much more discounted price than you would on IAmTimCorey.com. And part of it is because Udemy does marketing on their own. So they really encourage or push sales of courses. They even buy advertising for courses. So with all of that, that was kind of the encouragement. People kind of, really wanted me to go there to try it out, see what happened. And so I did that. I had a different course scheduled for Udemy, but some things came up that I couldn't do that course right away. And so I put this ASP.NET core course on there just to kind of see how it went and to also provide some great content. And so that's been an experiment. I've been interested to see how that would go, how Udemy does courses, how they do marketing, what the real profit sharing is all about. And at this point, I'm still gathering information, but I can make a pretty definitive announcement at this point, and that is the last course that will go on Udemy. I am not planning on putting any more courses on Udemy. While it does provide the ability for more people to purchase a course, what that does is it increases my workload, but does not compensate me in return. Okay? So what I mean by that is if you buy a course on IAmTimCorey.com, let's say that even you go the half off sale. So the complete C# application from start to finish course. So that's 40 hours worth of content. I believe you're going to pay $59, something like that, for the course. Now it's before VAT again. So VAT will add more to that. But let's just say you pay $60 for the course. I get about 56 of those dollars when you do. So that the profit of that is pretty much all mine to have. Okay? So that allows me to do a lot of things. That supports me personally. It supports me paying for an employee. I have a director of marketing and design that's working feverishly on some great content. We're going to get to that in just a minute. But that pays for a lot of stuff. And that's amazing. Okay, I really appreciate when you buy content. Please don't ever feel like you have to buy content. Please do not. Okay, especially in these times right now, I do not want to ever push you to buy something. So don't feel that way from me. That's not my heart. My heart is to help you. And for those of you who do, that helps fund my content. It helps fund the YouTube channel. It helps fund the free content that I can do. Udemy's a little different. Udemy, my course is listed at $189. Now, as you know, no one on Udemy pays that much money. Now, first of all, Udemy has this A/B testing where they list my course twice, depending on who is viewing it. Some people will see my course for $95. Some will see it for $189. Why that is, I'm not quite sure. Okay? But then they will discount it incredibly for almost every person. In fact, very, very few people ever pay for a full price Udemy course. That's just not how Udemy works. Udemy is all about the continual sale. So if you're a brand new subscriber to Udemy, you could get my course for $12.99. If you use my link, you get it for $19.99 just because I figured let's follow the Udemy model. Now, if you click on my link and you go to Udemy and you buy my course, let's say for $19.99, then I get about 19 of those dollars. That's pretty good. I get about 90%. But if someone goes through Udemy's site and let's say buys it for $12.99, I get half of that. So I get somewhere around the $6 range because they first take out all the fees. So I get $6 for that sale. That's not quite so good. And part of the reason I say that is because I have now added a customer. And I really try hard to support customers. If you have a question, I really try hard to answer you. Now, if you've watched my YouTube channel and read through the comments, I try to support you as well. Okay? So it's not like I try and not support free viewers. I really try hard to support everyone. But I really think it's important if you've purchased something from me that there is a level of expectation that I'll try and respond to you. Now, of course, I can't be the complete tech support for you. With thousands of people buying my content, I just don't have time to fully support everybody if you were to all ask in-depth questions, especially ones that weren't necessarily directly related to the course. But I do try my best. But it's different if you've paid $50 or if I've received $50 from you, because that has given me a certain amount of time because of that income, versus if you've paid me $6. Okay? So that hasn't paid for quite as much time. And I'm not in any way minimizing your purchase. I'm just saying that I have to have a lot more work put in, a lot more customers in order to make the income match anywhere close. It gets a little bit more difficult in the fact that Udemy is a worldwide platform and different countries have different exchange rates. One of the difficult things that I've had to figure out and work through, I'm still trying to be better at, is there's a lot of situations where the country you're from just doesn't have the same exchange rate with the US to be anywhere close to reasonable to buy my courses. Okay? Some of my courses cost more than a month's income or a year's income. And please don't buy my courses. Okay? I really don't want you investing that type of money in my courses. But what Udemy does is they say, well, we're going to put it into your currency and you pay the equivalent of $12.99 or $20, but in your currency. And so I've been looking through my sales, and in a lot of sales, probably the vast majority of sales, I average an income of somewhere between $1.50 and $2 for my course. That makes it even more difficult to support people because I have a lot of paying customers, but not a lot of income. So I'll add 100 new customers in a day, and yet I will add about $150. That's difficult because it's going to greatly increase my workload, but actually decrease my income significantly. So that's one problem. Okay, Udemy also isn't a great distribution platform. Okay, I don't want to segment my courses. I don't want to have some courses here, some courses there. So I'm going to try and bring those all back together. I'm going to leave this course on Udemy for a while to see how that Udemy engine works and just kind of experience more of what they do, because I am pulling some of the tips and tricks that they do to sell courses. I'm pulling those back into IAmTimCorey to see how I could optimize what I am doing to offer better content or different content. So I am learning a lot, but it's not something I'm going to continue. Okay, so just know I apologize if you were hoping that I would put all my courses in Udemy. That's just not going to happen. Okay, in fact, I'm hoping to bring the one Udemy course back to IAmTimCorey as well. And then you can have the option of getting it on IAmTimCorey, again, if you're an All Access Pass member, or if you just want to buy it there instead. I'm not sure if I'll shut it down on Udemy at some point. I don't think so. Don't worry. If you have purchased it on Udemy, you get lifetime access. So don't worry about that. I always try and take care of the people who pay for my content. Please don't worry. Okay. So that's the Udemy experiment. It's a worthwhile experiment. I really enjoyed trying it out. I enjoy learning what I did from it. But at this point, I don't think I will continue. Okay. Upcoming, we're going to switch gears a little bit here. Upcoming is some branding changes. You'll see some changes, I think, in the July timeframe, July or early August. You're going to see a lot of changes to how IAmTimCorey looks, as well as the YouTube channel, the Facebook group, and my Twitter platform. Okay, so there'll be some big changes in those coming up soon. Some radical differences in how it looks. To give you a little bit of history, I am not a designer. I am horrible at design. Some of you have commented on my courses and said, Tim, the course is great, the content is great, but can't you create a pretty UI? And the answer is, yeah, it's hard. It's not my strength for sure. It's my biggest weakness. So I have been my own designer for a long time. I use Canva.com, which is a great tool. Shout out to Canva. They're awesome. Not a paid sponsor, not a sponsor at all. But they are amazing at making my content look even semi-good. But recently, I was able to, again, because of the income coming in from course sales, I was able to hire a marketing and design director. Dan is his name. And he is amazing at this. He's been kind of helping me off and on. You've probably seen his content before, because there's my content and there's really good looking content that I put out. And if it's good looking content, Dan did it. Okay. If it's content, that's me. Okay. So the good looking stuff, that's what Dan did. And now he's working full time for me. He's working on some projects we haven't been able to talk about yet. They're coming out in June. But for right now, we're also working on plans for a total redo of how courses are laid out, how they look, and all the content in the course, as well as things like cheat sheets and handouts and other things. He's designing a lot of stuff that's going to look really great. I've been looking over this stuff almost on a daily basis, and it's just blowing my mind. I can't wait to show you. So that's coming up soon. Just know that's coming. If you saw the Blazor server course, that was a different sales page. Okay, so you go to Blazor server and look at that. It's totally different than the sales pages I have from my other courses. And it really gives you a lot more information about what's in the course and how it works and all that stuff in a way that's pleasing to the eye. It looks good as well as it's great content. So that was Dan kind of experimenting and trying things out. And now we're going to take that knowledge and really take it up another notch as well. So that's coming soon. I can't wait for you to see it. With that, I also, one of the things that people ask me for that I have not done up until this point is subtitles. Subtitles for courses are expensive. Now on YouTube, you get them for free, but they are auto-generated. They're difficult to get right. They're close, but they're not perfect. For my courses, I don't have that same option. However, I have partnered with a company that has started to redo my courses or take my courses and create subtitles for them. What they do is they do an automated process. Excuse me. They do an automated process and then they kind of clean that up with an actual human watching and listening and changing. And then I go through all of them and make sure that they're right or they're close. And then I make corrections and then we put them into the course. So that's a long process and it's an expensive process. It's about $1 a minute. So you know how long-winded I am. I try and teach context, not just the specific topic, which means context takes time. Well, when it takes time, it takes money. So I have completed 4 of the courses, actually more than that because they're bundles. So the complete Foundation C# course. So all 10 of those courses in the Foundation C# series, all of those now have subtitles. So does the Application Lifecycle Design course, the SQL Database from Start to Finish course, and the Database DevOps from Start to Finish course. All of those courses have subtitles now. So that was about, I think, $6,000, something like that, for all of that. That's a lot of money. Okay, but again, because you buy courses, I'm able to improve those courses and give you subtitles for those that need it. Okay, so those are done. The other courses aren't done yet, but as we go, I'll be adding more courses in that have subtitles. If you ever have a question of which course has or does not have subtitles, ask. Okay, now for right now, you have the answer. Those are the 4 courses. I will probably try and do another couple courses in late July, early August. Okay, that's kind of the next time frame for doing more. Speaking of courses, upcoming courses. This is always a question people ask is, what's upcoming? Well, I've got 3 courses that I am putting together right now. I'm trying to work through. The first course, I don't know if you've noticed my shirt, I'm putting a course together on Xamarin. Okay, so looking forward to this. It's been one that's been on my plate as a high priority for a long time. Can't wait to do it. There are some announcements being made at Build, which the Build conference is, I believe, May 19th and 20th of this month. So it's coming up soon, and it's free to register. So register now and watch that conference. Great content. It's in all of the time zones. They're doing the same session, I think, 3 times. So every 8 hours, that same session will occur. That way, whatever time zone you're in, you can watch it. Okay, so check those out. There's some announcements coming up about Xamarin that I wanted to wait until those announcements were made before I started making the course. So that's coming up. I'm already prepping for that. It's going to take a little bit more time to get it right, and I always want to get the content right before I give it to you. So please be patient with that. But I'm anticipating somewhere around the August time frame, I'll have a Xamarin course out for you. Also coming up, the Blazor WebAssembly or Blazor client course, in-depth course, that will come out again, hopefully in the July or August time frame, probably more towards August. But again, I want to go in depth on that. That gets launched on, I think May 19th. So officially, it'll be released on May 19th. And at that point, I'll create a course for that really goes in depth. Now, there's a lot of stuff that it's the same as Blazor server, but there's a lot of stuff that's not. For example, you can't do data access the same way. Blazor client or Blazor WebAssembly, I'll call it Blazor client from now on. Blazor client can be a progressive web app. So we're going to create a progressive web app from that, which means you can actually have it as an icon on your desktop of your computer or of your phone. And so that's kind of cool. We're going to try that out. We're going to see how it works. We're going to work through things like, well, how you do data access then if it's offline. Okay, so we'll work through that and we'll create some really cool stuff there. So that's coming up. I can't wait to do that. And finally, I'm going to create another foundation series. Now, this series will probably start in the July or August timeframe and it'll continue on through the fall. I'm debating if I wait to release it until it's all done, or if I release it in pieces like I did the Foundation C# series. But this Foundation series will be on HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So that's kind of a departure for me a little bit. I focused primarily on C#, and this is still for the C# developer. Now, if you don't have anything to do with C#, you can still take this foundation course and get a ton of great value. But my mindset's always on helping C# developers. And one of the areas that I consistently hear is, Tim, I love Blazor. I just don't know HTML or CSS or JavaScript well enough. Well, I'll hopefully cover all of that and really give you a great foundation in all three of those so that you're really confident to go into a web situation and be able to not just do the C# side, but also the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and really optimize that and know what you're doing. Okay, so that's coming up soon as well. So if you have any questions leading up to that, let me know. Things that you'd like to see in that course, let me know. Just note, I am not going to be covering Angular or Vue or React in that course. This is a foundation course. One of the things I'm very passionate about is that JavaScript is not the same thing as Angular or React or Vue. Those three are frameworks that are built from JavaScript. And often developers start right with a framework instead of learning JavaScript. So we're going to start by learning JavaScript. That's the really important part. Okay, so we're going to start there. And then from there, we'll see. I highly doubt I'll be doing courses on those frameworks. First of all, they change way too fast. But also, again, my focus is on C# development. And there's a ton of stuff we need to cover in C#. I doubt I'll be getting into JavaScript. Okay, I'm not here to just sensationalize things or to give you a whole bunch of intros that leave you, get you started but then leave you hanging. I'm here to give you an in-depth education on C# and all the stuff around that so that you have a really great picture of how to be a C# developer and how to succeed as a C# developer. So that's my focus, and will stay my focus. So just note, I'll be doing a course on HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, actually a multi-part course, but that doesn't mean I'll be straying away from C#. Okay, so I think that's it. Just as a recap, the sale is going on right now through the end of May 17th, which is Sunday. So the link's in the description to get things at half off. You can also get the All Access Pass. You can get the weekly challenge course set for limited time only, then it goes away. Also, we're changing weekly challenges. Again, that we're going to replace that hole in the schedule with those dev questions videos, and we'll see how that goes. Ask those questions down below so that we can make sure that I can get those covered. Udemy Experiment is kind of over. We're going to be focusing on IAmTimCorey.com courses from here on out. We're not going to go into other platforms, and we're not going to put more on Udemy. So the branding changes are coming. Subtitles are already on 4 courses, actually 13 courses, because it's the complete Foundation C# series. so all 10 of those. And then we have some upcoming courses as well. Okay, if you have any questions, leave them down in the description below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear, what you're looking forward to, what you're bummed about. Let me know. Okay, thanks for watching. As always, I am Tim Corey.